Asia Pop 40.
All right, you guys, Dom Lau here for Asia Pop 40, and as promised, I'm going to be speaking to two dudes who, seriously, if you haven't seen them online, go check them out right now. Type in Geronimo Road Trip, and that is Geronimo by Shepherd. I'm speaking to Bran Dan and Dan. Guys, are you there?
We're here, all the way across the big pond in the United States of America. We're here.
How's it going, you guys? It's so great to chat to you finally.
So good. We are much better now that we're not listening to Geronimo.
That's right.
Are you still listening to Geronimo?
We were just talking about it. We're not sick of the song. Like, we listened to it for 17 hours, and we still really like the song.
I needed a little bit of a break.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, by the end of the trip, all right, I needed a little bit of a break, but I thought I was just going to never want to hear the song again. But in all honesty, like, I'm still on board. It's still not a bad song. Yeah, it's really catchy.
It's that good, right? I mean, it is a really great and catchy tune.
Absolutely. We love it.
First of all, let me ask you, why? So there's a road trip, and tell me where you started, where you ended up, and why the need to listen to that specific song the whole time?
Well, we're from Greenville, South Carolina, and we were driving out to Austin, Texas. It's about a 17-hour drive, and we knew we were going to be in the car a long time, and we were trying to find a way to kind of waste time or make it go by quicker, and also find a way to kind of help fund our trip. And we were eating lunch the week before, and we just kind of tossing back and forth ideas. And I had seen a podcast where these guys watch Grown Ups 2, this movie with Adam Sandler, every Sunday for a year. And they talk about the movie, and they watch it every week for a year, and they just torture themselves. And I kind of said, we should do that, but have a podcast like every hour. And then Brandon said, well, instead of a podcast, why don't we live stream it and we just listen to it nonstop? And so it just kind of snowballed from there, and it became something way bigger than we ever thought it would be.
Yeah, and it came up also kind of casually because we listened to Geronimo a lot before this. Like, whenever we're in the car for a little bit of time, we're like, well, we got to listen to Geronimo. And so the idea came up, like, how long do you think we could listen to this song before we kill ourselves? And then we realized, oh, there's 17-hour trips coming up, might as well test it out.
So had you guys been fans of the band prior to your road trip, or was it just a song that you'd heard somewhere and gone, hey, that's kind of catchy, let's play that one?
Yeah, I came across the song, I think right when it came out. It was like one of the featured songs on Spotify one week, and so it came across and I was like, this song is far too catchy. Showed it to some buddies. It's not like a manly song. It's not a song that you would sit down with your bros and be like, listen to the Geronimo. But we did that anyways.
Yeah, we did.
We're comfortable.
Well, when Brandon came up, I remember he showed up at work. We worked together, and he shows up and he goes, "You got to listen to this song. It's going to be on the radio, and it's going to be on top 40 stations everywhere." And I had never heard of it at the time, and I heard it, and sure enough, like Nostradamus himself, 2 months later, like, Shepherd is just blowing up everywhere, and Brando predicted it.
I like to think that I predicted Lord getting big.
You
I
did.
predicted Geronimo. It just, listen.
It comes to you.
I'm kind of a music producer phenomenon. It is what it is.
I'm just thinking out loud here. I'm also thinking the next time I come out to the States, I've got to meet up with you guys, and we got to do some sort of mini road trip. That would be.
We would love.
That would be dope.
We will take you. We'll take you to the pizza place where we came up with the idea, because it's the best pizza.
It's the best pizza around. And not only that, but can you imagine, like, if our live streams are all still up on YouTube, can you imagine if Dom's just in the back middle seat in between you and I, and we're all just singing along, and we got Dom Lau here from the radio? I mean, come on, does it get any better than that?
James Corden can, like, eat my shorts, man, because like carpool karaoke has nothing on that idea. Plus, then we'll have George, Amy, and Emma just pop up in the back seat as well and start singing along.
Oh,
absolutely.
Let's just get a station wagon. Half of them can be riding backwards. Who cares? That's fine.
Yeah, right?
And George, you're right. James Corden can eat my shorts. I've said that for years.
I'll say it again.
Hey, so talk to me about the moment where George got involved. How did he get involved? Did he just kind of see your stream online and decide to call in, or what?
Well, I'm going to start this, but Brandon's going to finish it, because Brandon told me before we started, he goes, I have a few goals for this trip. But one of my major goal is, if someone from the band called us, I feel like that would be the biggest success we could possibly have from this thing. And I looked at him and I said, there is no way anybody in Australia from a band that's internationally famous is going to call us. And sure enough, I was wrong. Brandon, go ahead and take it.
Well, the biggest goal was to be on Ellen because of it, but we're with Dom now, so
come on, Dom Lau.
It's way better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it had been a long day up to that point, and we began to get some traction, and it had been a lot of fun. People were interacting with us, but we got to the point where the band apparently there's a big time difference. We weren't aware of that. We were, but we didn't think about it.
Brandon's like really mad that the band hasn't retweeted us or anything, and I'm like, Brandon, it's 4 a.m. in Australia. No one's awake.
So they woke up finally, and they Facebooked it, they posted it, and then somebody from their management contacted us, and it just spiraled quickly. George gave us a call. He was really nice.
Oh,
he talked
it was amazing.
to us for like 10 minutes, and then he stayed on the chat room the rest of the night, and then he called back up and he sang the song acoustically, like just above and beyond.
Like everything you think you could get from a guy who's internationally famous, he really did go above and beyond to stick around and watch the live stream. And we were asking, all these dumb questions about Australia, like is Crocodile Dundee like
is he real
or whatever, just stupid stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like and he just answered every single one. There were fans in the chat room. They're asking him questions. It was really a surreal experience.
And isn't it cool though as well? I mean, this is one of the things that I love about my job, and that is, isn't it cool that someone like George Shepherd, as you say, internationally known, he's got a mega hit, mega big band that's known the world over, that he's just the most down-to-earth, most humble person that you've ever chatted to.
Really is. No question about that. He was just like a regular dude. Didn't have any airs about him at all.
Yeah.
He was great.
Okay, so here's another question for you guys. When are you going to come out to Australia? Because you know what? The road trip between South Carolina and Austin, I mean, that's epic and everything, but wouldn't it be dope if we were able to bring you out to Australia or something and drive, I don't know, let's say from like Perth down to Sydney to meet him?
Dom, unless you're willing to pull this trigger, you're dangling all this stuff right in front of us.
And eventually, what I want to have happen is for Ellen to see this and for her to go, do one of her, well, you know what, you guys, courtesy of our friends at United Airlines, we have 2 tickets for you.
Dude, that is how we could do it. The problem is we couldn't do a road trip while we were out there because everyone else on the plane would just be furious.
Yeah.
Because we'd be singing along, and we're not great singers. And so, one of the rules on the road trip was every time we crossed a state line, we had to sing the song at the top of our lungs. That was kind of part of the deal. And so we got a lot of practice singing it, but boy, on an airplane in a crowded space, there could be some hostages taken. I don't think it would have.
Yeah, there might need to be an emergency landing somewhere over the Pacific. Okay, so real quick, guys, I need to know what your Twitter handle is. What is your Twitter handle?
Geronimo Trip, I believe. Yes, Geronimo Trip, because you had to shorten it. Geronimo Trip, that's it.
At Geronimo Trip, correct.
At Geronimo Trip. Okay, because you know what? I'm thinking that people need to see this. I mean, have you guys like gained fans as a result of this road trip?
We had, I think on Facebook, it was trending with about 20,000 people watching.
Wow.
Or involved in some form or fashion. I don't think it ever got really bigger than that, but
yeah,
we had just viewers that were constantly coming in and out. We had questions from people. Like I had a childhood neighbor I've not talked to in 20 years who donated some money to us and basically said, hey, it was so cool to catch up with you without actually, having seen you in 20 years. And so we had people just come out of the woodwork who maybe known us, but we had not seen in so long. So it was a good mix of new people and people.
Yeah, and then just the fact that people were willing to email us, people were willing to donate. We raised $760+ for our trip, which paid for
all the
gas and the hotel, and it was more than we could have ever hoped for. So yeah, I don't know if we gained fans, but we were really thankful for the people that were engaging with it.
Oh yeah,
that's great. So you had old friends, like childhood friends, you had complete strangers and whatnot. Here's a question: is this something that you guys might want to try again? I mean, not necessarily with Shepherd, but maybe, like the road trip music guys. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, just is this something that could turn into a fad?
We've thrown it around.
Yeah, we've also thrown out the idea of doing it again, but have George Shepherd be with us.
Absolutely,
can't promise it, but
I'm gonna, next time I speak to George, I'm actually gonna tell him, and I'm gonna speak to Amy and just plant the seed in her head too, and tell her brother, dude, gotta get out to the States, and I'm gonna speak to their manager, Chuggy, and make this happen. This needs to happen. It would be so much fun.
Yeah, they have been great, and actually they said next time they come to the States, they'd hook up with us when they come to the Southeast and give us some cool gear and let us come on stage with them. They've been really awesome, but even if they couldn't make it, we've thrown around maybe making it an annual tradition. We don't know. I mean, next year we could maybe, kind of gauge interest and have a poll and see what song people wanted us to do next or what have you, but I doubt we would get the same, we may get more fans out of the deal, but to have the experience be as special as it was because of how cool George Shepherd and that whole band was. That's what really made it cool, was they were on board with it, and that's what made it so interactive and so neat.
For sure, man. And of course, lest we forget, they have a sophomore album that they're currently working on.
Yeah.
We're pretty excited about that.
Yeah. So one last thing before I let you guys go, and that is a message to George, to Jay, to Amy, to Emma, to everybody in Shepherd. Anything you'd like to say?
Oh, man.
Because they are going to hear this.
I would say this, first and foremost, this is 2 months removed from this happening. We did this because we're really good friends and we enjoy each other's company and we enjoyed the song, and they have made it something we'll remember the rest of our lives. So regardless of what they do in the future, just thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because it has been so neat to think about this and know in the future it's something we'll remember forever. So thank you so much.
Thanks for helping us say Geronimo.
I see what you did there. Oh, look.
I like that. I saw that. That was good. Hey, guys, there needs to be more people on the planet like you guys, man. Seriously, I've had so much fun, not only just checking out your video and chatting to you guys, but just, it's all about having fun and just getting on, as you say, two best friends getting in the car, going on a road trip, and just having some fun. Yeah. And I like that.
Thanks, man.
There needs to be more people on the planet like you.
Thanks, Dom.
Just to let people know, like, the full 17 hours is still on YouTube. We are working on making a highlight film, but as you can imagine,
It's quite a lot of
combing
editing.
through 17 hours is a bear, especially when you've already done it. So it's online if you want to watch it, but we'll try to condense it in the future.
All right, Geronimo Road Trip. Guys, if any of you want to check it out, that's what you go to Google. It's on there. I've been watching it, and I'm gonna, as soon as this interview is over, I'm going to continue watching it. Brandon, Dan, thank you guys so very much, man.
Thank you, Dom.
I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I do hope that one day I get to meet you guys, because you guys just seem like a whole lot of fun. And as I say, more people on the planet like you need to exist.
You seem like fun.
It
Dom.
would be a dream come true for all of us, Dom.
Oh, man. I don't want this interview to end. I'm having so much fun.
Well, Dom, again, your idea was brilliant. We would love to talk about the next best thing. We can make that happen.
We are going to work on making that happen. I love it. Seriously, part 2, I mean, just you two guys, right? 2 American dudes coming out to Australia, down under, driving from, I don't know, Perth down to Sydney to meet the band.
That sounds perfect.
That would be perfect.
That was so stupid.
Oh, you did it.
I hate that.
Oh, man. Neither of us could point to Perth on a map. There's no way.
Not even a little bit.
It's a long way away. It's somewhere in Australia. Let's just leave it at that.
We don't get any Mad Max situation, will we?
Whoa, hold on. Another idea is formulating. No, I'm just kidding.
And I'm out.
All right, guys, thank you so very much, you guys. Such a pleasure to chat to you. Take care.
Thanks, Dom.
Asia Pop 40.